You're going to start breadcrumbing what the season changes, what's happening now in spring. It's new season, new growth, new life. So start that, really important right now. And you'll notice that right now in everything, even in your customers, in your potential customers. This is the season of change, of newness, of opportunity, and grab it. Grab it. Go bold right now, really bold. All that breadcrumbing you did November, December, January, February, March is going to happen right now. This is when people, women, your audience will start calling you, messaging you, and you need to start being proactive, be bold, because it's there. The closets are changing, the clothes are changing, and if you feel it, they feel it.
Right.
So start. Whatever you're feeling, they're feeling that same thing. And speak to your girl out there. You have to think about your person, your girl. If she's worried about the jeans or the sleeveless shirts or, God forbid, bathing suit, then you have to feel it. You have to talk to her.
Right. Yeah. Don't be afraid to, like Trisha was saying, we always talk about how the, change happens on the inside, but this is the time of year that's not what people, that's not what's getting people's attention. It's you working on your arms and showing off, how they're going to look in a tank top and bikini body and being beach ready and all that stuff. This is just the time of year for that, because that's where people's mindset is.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to talk about that kind of stuff this time of year.
Yeah. I hate to say it.
I mean, and once you're within your groups, you still want to, talk about mindset and all the stuff that's really important and getting deep down. But as far as capturing attention for challenge groups and for programs and for customers, it's exactly like Trisha said. It's the time of year where the clothing is getting skimpier and they want... that's everybody's why right now, is so I can be comfortable on the beach, so I can run with my kids in the sand.
But just remember, your audience should connect to you. So if you're not a bikini girl, don't post about bikini summers. If it's literally to wear a sleeveless shirt, then you need to find those girls that want to feel comfortable in a sleeveless shirt or in, whatever it is, skinny capri jeans or the dress. Don't itch for that audience that doesn't connect to you. So, but yes, right now it is physical. Find the coaches that you aspire or that motivate you or give you something and see what they're doing. That jab, 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 right hook. If you guys haven't read that book, he's going to be at, help me out somebody, he's going to be at Summit. Follow him on Facebook. Somebody help me out with the name.
I have the book sitting over there, but I can't move.
It's jab, 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 right hook.
Sitting right on the table.
It's really a way that you're posting on social media, that how you're going to jab, jab, jab. And all week you have a theme. Every single solitary day you're going to stay with that theme. And then all of a sudden you're going to right hook everybody, and they already know what page you're on. They already feel connected to you. It's a great book on how to post, and follow him on social media if you can. He's a New Yorker. He's a little bit extreme, but he's pretty good. But the book is excellent. It covers Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, all your social media platforms. And how you want to do it, but you should be jabbing daily at a huge right hook. So sometimes when we post, we just share whatever's on your mind. Gary, Vaynerchuk. Thank you, Melissa. Yes, he's a typical New Yorker. He's got a lot to say. He's great in social media, but the idea is that you shouldn't be all over the place. You need to have a theme, whatever's going on in your life. And you just jab it. You just jab. You talk about it daily. And then that right hook should not come as a surprise. So when you're doing an ad, like for your new upcoming group, And I've learned this the hard way. All of a sudden, you put this beautiful ad up and you worked on it on PicMonkey, and it's gorgeous and there's a whole idea of it, but it goes to the wayside. And it happened to me last summer, and I did this beautiful post, and it said, I am ready. And I gave like bullet points, I am ready. But I never jabbed at it before. All of a sudden, I just put up, I am ready. Didn't make sense. The weeks prior, I should have talked about being ready, or jumping before you're ready, or talking about ready, whether your kids, your family, your food, whatever it is. So it's a good book. It's a hardcover. It's not that cheap, but share it if you have it with friends, family, whatever, your people. But sorry, Dana, I went off on my typical tangent.
I needed you to. I was busy.
Is anybody surprised? This is usually what I do. I'm on camera, so let me, take over the floor. But really, right now, you have to switch gears a little bit and talk about the physical stuff. It's just what it is. So your group should talk about the look right now.
Yeah. So I think we're going to talk about challenge groups tonight, right? And running them.
Yeah.
Awesome. The importance of them, especially because I feel like the importance of challenge groups has maybe gotten a little lost. So I think that's something we need to talk about. They're the most important thing in our business, right? They're how we really find our coaches, how our coaches get started. They're the bread and butter of the business, as Trisha likes to say.
I do.
And I can say I've gotten lost on challenge groups during my pregnancy. I got lost on them. And I'd say it affected my business overall. Because they're really just that important. If you're not going to be part of a challenge group, if you're not going to run a challenge group, I don't think you're going to go very far in this business, because it's how you connect with your customers. It's how you connect with your future coaches, some of your newer coaches, and it's how you hold people accountable. It's really how you almost stay in touch with most people, because otherwise, what are you going to do? It's hard to stay in touch with people when they're not taking part in these challenge groups. Like, wouldn't you agree when you have a challenger customer and they're not really being a part of a challenge group, they sort of fall to the wayside. So that's why these are really important to run. So, oh, geez, don't fall. What is a challenge group to you? Because I think that a challenge group is completely different to each and every coach. I think it's important to make them you. I think it's important to for them to have your personality. Like, corporate gives us guidelines on one way we could run a challenge group, but I think it's important that we make them, that we make them more towards our personality, because those are the people, the people we're inviting, they want us, they're like us, they're going to do better and probably stick with the program more if it's something that we would stick with. So what is a challenge group to you? What are some of the things that you're doing personally in your groups that are working for you? I'd love to hear from you guys. I know some of our newer coaches would love to hear from people that have been running successful groups. I think that I know question just before this call, how do you come up with your ideas? What are some tips you guys have for running challenge groups for your newer coaches or for new coaches on this team? I see Alicia, I see Christy, I know Trisha's on here. And Cindy's run some groups too that have been great. So what are some tips that you guys have? What does a challenge group mean to you?
Well, you want me to go, Alicia?
Okay. Don't fight.
Well, Christy is really the challenge group guru, but for me, my challenge groups are usually about a place where we can motivate, inspire, encourage each other, I usually take the lead and do the daily post. I do a daily post in the morning. I set them up with a week where we call preseason, so that they're set up for success. So most of my challenge groups are run for actually like 5 weeks. And so I do the preseason, and this is just usually a 30-day any program along with Shakeology. I do require both for my challenge groups, unless I do something specific. Right now we've got a 22-minute hardcore group going on, plus I have a 30-day challenge group going on as well. So I run at least one, if not two, a month. And for my newer coaches, if they've just signed on, the first one they'll go through as a challenger if they've never been through one of my challenge groups as a challenger. And then the second one will run together, and hopefully they'll participate and take a week or so. And then when they're ready, I never tell them to go, but when they're ready, they can take their challengers and go and do their own group. Because I think with a challenge group, the person that's leading, like your challenger is connected with you for a reason. So you should really be running your own group. Your challengers don't really want to hear from me. They don't know who I am, and they're like, who's this lady? So once you get, enough people that you feel like you want to break away and do your own, I think that's the best. That's where I found my feet as a coach, and I found my flavor, and I added my special sauce to the mix. So we also do something like a weekly MVC, most valuable challenger, and that's usually the person that participates the most, and that's my discretion who wins that. I go through and see who's really been liking and commenting on the post and putting their sweaty selfies out there and posting meal ideas. And then usually they get something little, like a little prize, like a hair tie or the little shoe rings. I've done those. I don't know what they're called, the shoestring rings. And then at the end, the challenger that participates the most throughout all of it gets usually like a tank top or a water bottle or Fixate something.
Awesome.
All great points. Love it all. I do agree with you, Alicia. When you add coaches and coaches and their challengers, you look like you're, and I know this is for me, so I'm there running a group, and all of a sudden you're like, they don't connect with me like they should if they were my people. But so I always add usually a video in explaining that I'm just hosting this, but that everybody really is a part of this group. And usually I do that also to make sure that the challengers and the coaches that are in there know that they're a part of this and that they work that. But that's great. I love that.
Right.
What do you do in your prep? What do you do in your preseason group week? Because I'm finding that's really the ultimate week of the entire. I'm finding out that if you don't get your people ready and psyched and motivated and prepared, it almost is like scare tactic. What do you do in that week?
So I have a post about expectations. That's like the first thing I go over, what they can expect from me as their coach in the group and what I expect from them as a challenger in the group.
Okay.
So that would be like I'm trying to go off the top of my head. So I have like a little cheat sheet that I use for preseason. And then this second day I will ask them, to introduce themselves. Okay. And it's kind of like trying to find out their why and if they're able to do a video, like what are their strengths, weaknesses, and then like the last line says, if you go MIA, do I have permission to hunt you down? Because I want to know where they are in this. Like, can I come and, knock on your door, or do you want me to leave you alone if you go missing? And then I go over like measurements and how to properly take them. We go over, like if it's a 21-day fix type of group, we go over particulars about containers. Otherwise, I'll talk like about clean eating a little bit and portion control.
Okay.
And, then I have like a psych post, like go like, woohoo, we can all do this post in there. And then I try to do introduction video of myself, just so they can get a better connection with who I am.
Love it. Love it. I think the preseason, I call it prep and ready. I don't know why, but I love it. I think I've done groups where all of a sudden I open up and I'm like, okay, day one, and people are like shocked. So, and then I tried to get away from a full week of prep and ready because I thought this is just dragging. People want to push play and make their shake. But I think it adds value when it turns into a lifestyle more than your 21 days or your program start to finish. Like, make it a life. So that's great. I love that. I love the expectation.
Trish.
Yeah, I like that too. Would you?
What's that?
I said I'll start a group on Thursday and have 4 days of prep and start. Like,
yeah, I sometimes think a week is too long. Like, they're just ready to go.
Like, I do Thursday or Friday, start Monday.
But that's because, Christy, you already formed them. You already gave them what this is about. Motivation, inspiration, accountability, friendship. Okay, so you already prepped them. But
real quick before Christy starts, Alicia, would you mind sharing your expectations in our theme page?
Of course.
Thank you. I think that'd be great to see.
Yeah. And you know what? Everybody's expectations are different, though. Don't you agree?
They sure are different. I think that'd be like a great thing for everyone to see. I'd love to see it too, just out of curiosity. I've never put down out the expectations, but I think that's a smart idea. And I like the hunting down thing.
I do too. Do I have permission? Alicia, how many of your challengers have success? And I don't really, how do you judge success? Like, what do you feel like your groups, 10% of them reach their goals or their expectations? Like, do you feel like you want those girls at the end did it?
I don't know how to judge it, because sometimes they'll follow through on the expectations. Like, some people don't feel comfortable like showing their measurements and that sort of thing. But I would say that I have very few people fall off completely. They may have fallen off that challenge group, but if you are a challenger of mine, you are always a challenger of mine.
Yeah,
I will roll you over into the next group, whether you canceled your Shakeology, home direct, or whatever you had to do. If you're a challenger, you're always a challenger. So I roll them over into the next group. I have very few that have fallen off completely. I've had some that, fell off over the winter and we're just trying to get back on and that sort of thing. But I also follow up with them individually, everyone that's in my challenge group, weekly. So I just try to keep that connection going. It is a lot of work, but I individually want to know how they're doing. So I just.
Now, because you work nights, correct?
I do. Yep.
So do you have them set on a timer, or you just wing it?
No, I don't have them set on a timer. They know that I work nights, like my people know. So I will post the morning post between, like, on a day like today, between 6:30, and then sometimes I don't get out of work until 8 in the morning. So sometimes they know not to expect them. They can expect the morning post before 9:30, somewhere in there. So
it's great.
It's not that consistent, but most of my challengers, to be honest, are nurses or work shift work, so they kind of know what to expect.
Great.
I don't know what I've done.
Going off of Trisha and asking about the success rate too, I think that you as a coach are going to find the more consistent you are in your groups, or even if you have challengers in another group, the more heart you have in it and the more consistent you are, the higher success rates you're going to find. If you fall off, your customers are going to fall off. That's just it, plain and simple. And if you're just winging it, they're going to know you're just winging it. And they won't really be in it. So
I agree with that, Dana, but a lot of times when I do my structured groups, it's copied and pasted, and every group is going to be different, and I think you have to roll with what type of people are in your group, and depending on who's in there. I've done groups where I'm like, okay, day 1 is this, day 2 is this, and it's so phony. A lot of times when I am in a group and
your groups are phony, don't you feel like the feedback,
there's no feedback.
Right.
And like a lot of times I'll roll with it. I'm like, this is what I'm feeling, so I'm going to post this right now. And that gets the best response. But I'm home, girls, so I'm not, this is my full-time job. So please know that if you work outside the home, don't compare yourself to me. Like, I have that moment where I'm sitting, but if you can grasp that moment, whatever you're feeling, and if you're working, like, remember it for when you can post. But I do think a lot off the cusp is so real. I do, Dana. I mean, I have my week. I know Motivation Week 1.
The more heart you have in it, I feel like the more
I do. I agree.
Have a higher success rate. But I think that's also a great way to keep yourself accountable as far as eating well and working out, because when you're doing it, you're talking about it and you're posting about it and you're in your groups more. And so I think the more accountable and the more consistent you are personally, the higher success rate your customers are going to have.
Can I make a comment too?
Yes.
I think that, like Trish said, I do a lot off the cuff because I'm kind of a wing it kind of girl. But I also go by what's happening in the group that day. Like sometimes they need to hear something from me, and it's not something, if I had scripted, it might be the wrong thing for the day that they're in. Somebody might be struggling with something, and I need to like just go off spur and focus on what they're going through as opposed to what's scripted.
Right.
That's because you know.
I don't script my post.
Yeah, but you know your people, Karen. That's the difference. You knew their why. You found out whatever's going on. You find out everything you can about your challenger. So it is so real. That's the difference between like a Karen and someone she finds out everything about her customer. So when they're put in that group and they're struggling with time or is anything, she knows exactly how to post because she knows her people. So find out everything you can about your challengers so that you're not just saying woohoo, which I've done on years of woohoo instead of really digging deep to what they're going through.
Can we go to
know your people? Christy is like,
Christy has awesome themed challenge groups.
No.
So I'd love to.
Christy could never wing it. She probably thinks.
I never script my stuff. I don't.
You don't script.
You always have great themes.
So I come up with a challenge board. I come up with a daily challenge board, and it's pinned to the top of the group, and everybody posts their post-workout selfie for the day. They get points if they post their post-workout selfie. And then they get points, however many I assign for each thing, for the challenge, the daily challenge. They have to complete it before midnight to get their points. They're in charge of keeping up with their points, because in the beginning I tried keeping up with them, and that's insane. So don't do that. You could do a Google Doc if you wanted. I don't ever do it. I just do the honor system, and we're all adults. So, but I will listen to my challengers through the, I'm with the same with Alicia. You do need a challenge pack to do my longer groups, but once you have bought a challenge pack, you can do my groups forever. So I've got a couple of you in my intentional living group right now that got way bigger than I thought it would be. It's I think we're up to 40 people or something like that. But I kind of listen to number one, what I'm going through. number two, what my team is going through, and I come up with challenges based on that. So this intentional living group was totally based on what's going on in my life right now, in that, I felt really disconnected, and like I was just kind of going through the motions. Like I've told other coaches, I went on the Success Club trip and I got off the cruise and I was the most demotivated I have ever been in my life. Because it's the first time in 20 months that I took a vacation, that I wasn't constantly messaging people. And I got off the boat and I had people like, I want challenge packs. And I was like, I don't want to talk to any of you. So go away. And so I had to really delve into PD. And so this group is all about personal development. And I've asked everyone to get a personal development book, whatever it is that they want. I suggested some. I suggested the Energy Bus because I think that's good for everybody. I suggested Captivating. I said if they are a spiritual person and they want to do daily devotions, I suggested them doing one or the other or both. And then I had a challenge list about intentional living. So they're to print out the list, and they have to pick which challenges intentionally they are going to do each day. So not like it's 5 o'clock and I'm going to just pick some challenge. They have to decide that day that they are going to do this challenge. They're not going to get points for it, but like some of the challenges are have a meal with your family for 30 minutes, no cell phones, no interruptions. Or go feed some ducks. Like just about living in the moment without the phone in front of our face, or make it intentional to see a stranger today, smile at them, and make their day with your smile. These are the kind of challenges that we're doing in this particular group, which is different for me because I'm a very competitive person. So usually it's all about like, I don't know, how many push-ups can you do without stopping, or post a picture of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or, there's so much you can do with it. Like you got to kind of tap into who you are, who your people are. I mean, I'm an actress, so I know a lot of actors. A lot of the actors are on my team, and so they kind of like to be showy and do videos. And, we've had people doing wall sits while singing show tunes. And so, I mean, you can have fun with it. And if you can get like a couple of people in there to be brave, you'll be surprised at how brave everybody else will get. And you should, of course, be the first one always posting every day. I do all the challenges. And I try to be the first one posting. I try to be the first one posting my post-workout selfie in the morning too. And so if you are leading by example, if you are being disciplined, they are going to follow. Now you are going to get the people that fall off, and you got to message those people and say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And usually they're not participating because they're hiding. And so, and if they are hiding, you can make a post. Like I do a lot of off the cuff stuff, like weigh-in and measurement day. I always get I lost 1 pound. That's it. But I've lost 6 inches. This sucks. And I'm like, I have to get on there and do a video and be like, do you hear yourselves? Do you hear yourselves? You lost 6 inches. What's more important, the inches or what the number on the scale says? And so there's going to be moments where you have to listen to what they're doing, what's going on, and you have to post. You have to be like, I really think you should post a video. I think like coaches should be posting videos so they can hear your voice, so they can see how passionate you are, so that they can see the love that you have for them and the energy that you bring to the group. So yeah, but I mean, all of mine have a theme, and some of them are the ones that I say I have expectations for are the ones that I bill as test groups. So that the hammer and chisel test group, I was like, these are my expectations that you have to do, because we are the test group for hammer and chisel. So we have to, do everything this way. And actually with the hammer and chisel test group, there was no daily challenges. It was just to post, and everybody in there was motivated. When you've got like a group of 5 to 7 people doing the same program for the first time, you would be surprised how motivated they are to keep going. There would be one person that's like, it's usually me. I hate autumn. I don't want to do balance chisel or whatever. And then I would have, I hate it too. Let's just get it done now. And so, you have camaraderie in the fact that you hate autumn, and that, and by the end of it, it was like, just everybody's cheering each other on to finish it through the 60 days. So you have to be the leader. You have to be the disciplined person that gets their stuff done every day. I usually run anywhere from 3 to 4 challenge groups a month. Right now I've got 4 going. One of them is usually like a 10-day clean eating group that's free. That's for strangers only. I do not post it on my Facebook page at all. I post it in the Beg, Barter, Sell groups. And all they have to do is friend me and message me, and I put them in the group. I don't make them sign up under Team Beachbody. The only purpose for those groups is to make new friends. That's it. Yeah. So then I've got 50 new people watching me every month. I've friended 40 or 50 people. I don't like in the 10-day group, I teach about clean eating. That is scripted, by the way. That's the only one I script. And I put it in Hootsuite, and it posts by itself. And then I just make sure that I'm diligent about answering the questions. The one that I have going on right now just happens to be like crazy good. Everybody's participating. Usually it's completely quiet. Everyone's participating, and I have somebody in there that's drinking Shakeology, so now they're all asking about Shakeology. So you never know what's going to happen in a clean group. It could be completely crickets, but again, that doesn't matter if it's crickets. You've got 40 or 50 new people watching you. Right. It does not matter if there's crickets in that clean group. But I post about clean eating. I give them 2 weeks of meal plans. They're 21-day fixed meal plans. I take all the containers off, and they have all the recipes and the grocery list included. So I've given them, like, not only are they watching me, they're friending me, but I've given them something of value for free.
Yeah.
And so those groups, you just kind of have to be diligent about questions, because those people have no clue what clean eating is. They're going to hold up Activia and be like, is this okay for Greek yogurt? And no, and this is why. If you could find this instead, you're going to have to be a little more diligent with those. But that's the one that's scripted that I put in Hootsuite. And I just have 40 new people watching me. The other ones, I put challenge boards up usually, and I participate in all of them. And I run them by myself. I don't have other people run them because they wanted me. So sometimes I'll join up with somebody, but honestly, my personality is so strong, I wind up taking over. I have high expectations of things, and so that's what I do.
Thank you. So I'm glad that she brought up the whole free group, the clean eating group, because that was something I was going to say. If you've never run your own challenge group, or you're just trying to get started, get comfortable, make new friends, whatever the situation is, a great way to practice is 5, 7, 10-day clean eating groups. But it doesn't have to be clean eating. Think about something you struggle with that you're in your life trying to work on, because that's the thing that other people like you are also going to be struggling with, and that's what you're going to connect with. So is it clean eating? Maybe it's kicking sugar. It could be something as simple as a water challenge, getting better sleep, kicking caffeine. Fitbits. If you have a Fitbit, you could do a Fitbit challenge. Anything like that where you're offering it for free and you're adding value for free, as Christy said. That's a great way. I know, Vicki, you were doing some like an elimination diet, going, even something like that, where you're maybe going gluten-free or grain-free or dairy-free, whatever you're working on in the moment, you can always offer a free group because somebody else is going through that and you're offering something valuable. So all kinds of free groups are great. Another kind of group you can do that isn't necessarily free, but it's not really charging, is like a Shakeology challenge. You can do a 5-day, 7-day, 10-day Shakeology challenge. You have the packets, right? We all always end up with 1 million of those packets. You sell them for $5 a piece. And you can do a clean eating challenge with Shakeology. But Shakeology, don't base the group around Shakeology. You base the group around clean eating or fitness or whatever it is, and Shakeology is the bonus. It's the icing on the cake. It's the extra. It's what they want to know more about at the end of the week.
But also there's that super sampler now, so you can just have them buy the super sampler.
Yeah, if you're not like me and you don't have a box of 100 samples. No, actually I don't even. I think I have a half a box left. But we all know, like, sometimes we end up with how many of those samples sitting in our pantry. So that's a good way to get rid of them.
Dana, I'm actually running a free group that I did last year as well, and we're running it again. I do it as a big team. It's a really large group, so it's everybody's responsibility to check in with their people. But it's a Couch to 5K group, and it really does get a lot of people interested. It does take a lot of time because most of the programs are, 8 to 9 weeks. So each coach takes a week. If they've added participants, they need to take a week and do the daily post. And we do some clean eating tips in there. And we've also done like a cyber PIO on Saturday or Sunday, where I'll just do like a Zoom call like this and point it at my PIO screen, and then everybody's working out together, and it gets them kind of interested in at-home workouts as well if they're runners.
Oh, that's neat. I like that.
That's awesome.
It is a long group though, like you said, but still, if everyone's taking a week. So, but stuff like that, stuff that's kind of popular, like the Fitbit, the Couch to 5K, things like that, run challenge groups around it. Like Christy said, not only could you get a lot of friends, but sometimes these free groups, I know Christine has a free group that's turned into something pretty amazing, and that's, I think, where she gets a lot of her customers from. So these free groups can really, truly turn out to be something very, very beneficial to your business.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to
from a free group.
What?
If it's not your thing, don't do it. If you
don't do it.
If you don't clean eat, don't run a clean
They'll
eat.
be able to tell and see through you like anything. Yeah.
Right. I agree. If you're never gonna run, don't run a.
You could run a knitting group if you wanted. All you're doing is getting friends. People that knit also need to lose weight.
Yep. It has everything. It could be anything. Baking.
Yes.
Whatever's going on right now in the season, shopping, it's money. It doesn't have, it should be what's going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at something and you know about something, cleaning it. Kim did last year, Kim Cook did organizing your pantry or your kitchen. It was like a 6-week of good night, Alicia. Good
Awesome
night.
seeing you, Alicia.
Yeah, that was great. I know. I don't know how she does it. I give her a ton of credit. But if you're into organizing or you're structured, teach me, because people like me love that stuff. So if you're going to organize your closets, share with the world, okay, I'm taking on this closet. Just share and do it. I mean, invite people to join you on whatever you do. Does that make sense? Even if it's a sit-up challenge, a plank challenge, it doesn't have to be physical. It could be anything.
Right.
No soda, drink water, love your kids for a week.
Whatever you're going through. I'm like, when I was pregnant, I happened to upon a lot of new pregnant friends just because I was like, I'm doing a pregnant plank challenge. And then we did a pregnant squat challenge. So kind of whatever's going on in your life. Are you looking, I mean, at some point I'm going to have to do some kind of plank or ab challenge again because my stomach's mush and that's what's going to be going on in my life. So you know what? I'll probably have a free ab challenge or a free plank challenge. So whatever's going on, whatever you're doing specifically for you, throw it out there as a free challenge to everybody else. And those plank and ab and squat and lunge challenges, people love them. And all you need is the little calendar that's all over Google. People love being in those. And, for people just write, like, I did it, I'm done, and then you can post other little things in the page too. Those always are really simple and work out really well.
Something else that I've done for the challengers, like as soon as you can, I would start setting up a customer support page. Like you've got Team Fierce Ambition Fitness Family. I've got Dramatic Fitness Family. So that my Dramatic Fitness Family is actually a hop-in group. Like anyone that is not in a current challenge group is posting their post-workout selfies all over the place on that group. And when I went away on the cruise, like my people freak out when I am not running a challenge group. And when I went on the cruise, they were like, we don't have a group and I said, all right, I need 5 leaders. And I had 5 of my challengers lead a challenge group while I was on the cruise on my fitness, the Fitness Family page.
That's awesome.
I asked them to come up with some challenges. This is a way also to pick out your coaches for the future. See who's willing to help. And so that page ran itself while I was gone. And they did a challenge that whole week themselves, just the challengers with no coach. So,
Christy, can you talk about the customer support group that you have? I didn't even know we had a Team Fierce Ambition one, but it's basically people, when they sign up for anything, you have everybody on this page for customer support.
So when they sign up for anything, I of course put them in the challenge group, but then I also put them in the Fitness Family. And I say, everyone please welcome so-and-so. They just bought 21 Day Fix and Chocolate Shakeology. Send them your favorite Chocolate Shakeology recipes. This is a group where you can post workout selfies, you can post recipes, you can come here for support, you can come here to ask questions, and you can come here for motivation when you are not in a current challenge group.
I love that. I love it.
So there's post workout selfies all over that thing.
Yep. And Christine, I don't know if Christine, you do this, but I add my people that I formed, work with, talk with, and they're just not ready. I add my they haven't bought anything from me into that group. Christy, I don't know if that's you. I
don't, but that's an interesting idea.
Because they see what we are, what we're about, and eventually, possibly, maybe they're going to jump.
That's a good idea. Because as soon as they see everybody posting their Shakeology, forget it. They're all.
That's it. And what I do differently is, Christy, what I usually do is add them to that group when they're done the challenge, like our challenge group. So I add them after as a support group. But you guys, I did it fall off, like we were hot and cold, but I always add those randoms that are just not ready to bite. And think about it.
That's a good idea, Trish.
And then, have you never know. They're in there. They're your fan. I call mine my Fearless Fitness Family. And it like I said, some weeks is great, other weeks nothing. But grab those people that or that girl that you meet that's like, oh my gosh, I love your recipes. But they're just, you know where they are in life. Put them in there. But that's a good one. Christine, I'm surprised you don't. It's.
I didn't even think of that.
When we started, it was a big deal when we started. Like when Dana and I started, Dana, you'll agree with me. It was a big thing for our upline group. That was what you did. The minute somebody even interacted, bought anything, we put them in this big group. And what happened is it became 500 people of just, I hated it. I never added any, it was just, I was a new coach. I was just adding them on to these people, and I never felt connected. So I stopped adding my people. But it's, if
Do you
go,
do daily posts in those groups, like similar?
I
to
do
challenge?
not. Once
No,
in a
right?
while, when I
Okay,
put
good.
an article or something.
group.
What'd you say, Dana?
Ours, Christine.
I post my post-workout selfie in there.
I got to start posting in mine again. It's kind of a self-run group. You're not in it, Christine?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. It's possible I'm not thinking of it, but
Look up.
tag me in a
It's
post.
under like Team Fierce. It's TFA Fit Fam or Fierce Ambition
But
Fit Fam.
that's
Maybe.
also a great opportunity for a new coach, or maybe a coach that's been around a long time that they need to feel needed or wanted again. Ask them, hey, would you mind running that page for me? You know, and have the themes, maybe Monday motivation, tasty Tuesday, Wednesday workout, Thursday thankful, Friday flex, Saturday, you know, family day. Like, ask your coach that's maybe in limbo.
See, I don't know if there'd be confusion though, because I have the Healthy Living Challenge.
Yeah,
group that
you
has
might find
everybody.
confusion because you kind of have all your
Yeah.
customers and people
Yeah.
interested in that group, in that other page already.
But
But I like the support group
Right.
idea. I think
just
maybe
remember when you
Like a
open up a
family.
group, and here's where I falter, it's your group. And meaning it's there for a purpose, not just for Phil. You have to at least engage and not just be,
yeah.
because those
But maybe
random people,
it's, you know what? Actually, that's a really good idea, because I don't do a whole. I'm sorry, I don't want to make this about me, but quickly,
No.
the Healthy Living Challenge group is for anybody doing anything, gym, workout, whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be Beachbody, not working out. So I don't sell in there. I don't. It's more like you said, Christy, creating relationships, making friendships in there.
but every
building
once in a while
trust,
you should
but-
you have that right.
But I think the support group would work really well, because I could post if they already bought. I'm not selling to them, but I could. It's an ongoing, like, tips about
Right.
Shakeology,
Yeah.
about Beachbody things coming up, Summit, whatever. You know,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
should be.
Okay.
And
You know
But
what you
just-
can do though in that healthy living group? I mean, you don't have to sell, but you should introduce them to stuff.
100%.
Oh,
I
she
agree.
does. She posts she posts her workouts, her
I do.
Shakeology, her.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I just don't, like, I wouldn't put an article about something behind the scenes of Beachbody too much
No,
in it.
no.
You know what I
But
mean?
do you ever?
I'm careful about that
But
page,
do you
because it's
ever
about gaining
advertise-
trust. What?
But do you ever advertise an upcoming group?
Oh,
or an-
yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do. I'll be like, hey guys, look, I only have a couple spots left. Let me know if you want in, kind of
Okay.
thing. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like an
Or-
insider tip.
Okay.
Whatever she's doing in her healthy living group, she needs to just keep doing it because it's an excellent group. And
Okay.
Thank you,
people
Dana.
really-
No,
Well, people truly, honestly use it. I mean,
yeah,
and it's
they
a
do.
group. It's it's something that they have to physically go into every single day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Whatever you've got going on there,
Go
Yeah.
for it.
because
You know what else I've done in my free groups? In that group, like on a Friday, first Friday of the month, I'm like, okay, if you have a home business, I've also done that.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. That's great.
You have the day to promote it. I have a girl that's a crafter at home. Like, okay, post it. If you're 31 gift lady, you have the day to post it. Because I feel like we all
To
have
give
to
back.
love each other and support
Yeah.
each other. And if you're gonna, and those girls thought the world of that. So I don't know if you're into that, but
well, you probably want to be a little bit careful because
yeah,
I
I
mean,
haven't done it in a while, Dana. But now that you say that,
You have a couple
Other
of creepers
companies.
going on.
yeah, I
that-
would be I would
Mm.
tread lightly on that one.
I feel like
Yeah.
the girls that I did that, I had a great relationship with, and I've never doubted. Like, they're my challengers. They're great. They just also do their thing on the side.
That's a great idea, though, Trisha. I do love
You-
that. I've
Like, literally
relaxed.
6 hours. 6 hours. You post, you get it, you form, whatever, and goodbye. They're done. I delete them all.
I've taken the approach, this is what I've done so far, but I will think about that. But because I noticed that, like, I let anybody in that group, but some people you got to be careful of because they're in there just to sell. And they're in there in the sense of creepiness. Like, I don't mind if you're talking about your journey. And that's what I tell people, like, sorry, no advertising here, but you're welcome to talk about your journey. And if Advocare helped you in your, well, can I mention Advocare? If it helped you in your journey, absolutely. But I'm not going to have them go on the page and just every day put an ad. You know what I mean? Because then it's a different group. Then we don't have the relationship that we have. But that's what I've taken so far. But I like the, I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
but
I like the idea too of letting people post just to create that entrepreneurship. I don't know. Just such good ideas. Thank you guys. It's great. It's great.
I know it's getting late. Really quick, what happens at the end of your challenge groups when you're like, this is what do you do? Do you okay, everybody start over, come on in?
I usually talk about the next group. If you'd like to be added to the next group, reach out to me or your coach.
Okay.
I'll post the link for the next group.
There are 5 questions I give at the end of my group every time, and I love it.
Okay, I like it.
Let's hear it.
But I have to, I think I'm going to send it to you guys because I don't know it off the top of my head. But it's basically in the sense of, like, what nutrition tip have you learned about yourself? What, like, 5 things. What has this challenge group done for you? Because what I do with that is I'll use it in my posts. Like, this person said this about the challenge group or whatever. But also it makes them feel great about, it makes them realize what it is they did achieve. And even if they didn't get the numbers they thought they were going to get, they still see those milestones that they made. So you kind of, so I always leave with that.
Oh, I love it.
And then there was also something in one of the wake up calls. One of the top coaches mentioned something about 3, I think it was Janelle Summers mentioned it possibly, about the 3 questions she does at the end, which is, how would you like to continue? A, would you like to continue this journey on your own? B, would you like to be in the next challenge group? Or C, would you like to inspire others so that you can see if there's somebody? So I
love it.
Yeah, it's good. I like those questions for them. It works.
Great.
And like Christine said, I think a key element you're getting out of challenge groups is testimonials.
Yes.
Huge.
We forget to do that.
Yeah.
That's really big. I'm bad with that. Testimonials are great. Doesn't have to be pictures all the time.
No, it doesn't. Testimonials are fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
Christine, post that in your page. I want to feel that.
I will, absolutely.
It's great to ask questions like that. I like in the challenge group I'm doing now. We just did a Summit Up Sunday because I want to know. You're getting testimonials, but you want to, follow people like, what goals did you hit? What goals didn't you hit? Where do you need to work on? And you always want to make sure that you're covering all the bases, fitness, nutrition, and mindset. But so asking questions to pull testimonials is a smart idea to do within your challenge groups. And like Christine says, it gets them thinking, like, maybe I didn't lose the 15 pounds I wanted. Maybe I only lost 5, but I gained so much more out of this. So I think that's important. So let's see. Is there anyone... Does anyone have any questions before we hop off? Because it is 10 o'clock.
I just had one question. When we talk about running multiple groups at the same time, like Christy's running 4 groups right now, and so how do you go about inviting to so many different groups all at once? Are these personal invite? How does that work? Because I'm working on posting and inviting to my one group that I'm trying to get started, and I don't know how I would even go about inviting. But Dana, you had a good idea about like my dietary restrictions right now, so I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll do another one. But how do I throw another invite in there?
Well,
Well, Christy was doing talking within a private, like her barter group. So that's, don't be overwhelmed by Christy's sense of like,
and 4 groups is a lot.
that's not the norm.
Um,
But those groups are within her groups. I
Yeah.
think you need to concentrate on what's going on in your life and have a theme for the week, and then, you know, whatever you want to advertise for. Dana, am I right in saying
what I was
one
going to
group
say
a month?
is your groups aren't going to start at the same time, so you're not going to be inviting to
Right.
2 groups at the same time.
Right.
Maybe your free challenge group will start on the first Monday of the month or the first of the month, but your paid challenge group will start the second week or the third week of the month. Oh, bye, Nikki. Feel better. So you don't want to be inviting to like 2 different groups at the same time.
Right. Right.
Can I say something there too?
Yeah.
What I learned was on one of the wake up calls too. I think it was Melanie Mitro said, and I thought it was crazy when she mentioned it. I'm like, are you kidding me? 2 challenge groups a month? That's what she says she runs, is 2 challenge groups a month. And when I started doing that, I noticed my Success Club numbers go up for sure, because I wasn't pushing towards that one group and then that was over. So I have 2 challenge groups a month. And so when that group starts, so like I had a group that just started Monday. Now for the rest of the month, I'm going to be pushing for May 2nd. So I always have a challenge group to invite to, and it's really helped. And also for me, like the healthy living one, there are over 500 people in. That's something different. That's ongoing. But those smaller challenge groups, I really don't like them to be too full, because I want to keep track of who's falling off, and so I don't want them to get too packed. So I do like that first group, and then it helps me with that too, that the second group, it allows me to break up the people a bit. But also, like I said, the Success Club numbers have gone up since I've done that.
Yeah. So like Christine said, I think it is good to do 2 a month, 1 towards the beginning, 1 towards the end, because you are pushing for Success Club. So you want to have purchases. Weird noise. You want to have purchases in the beginning, hopefully purchases in the beginning of the month and purchases towards the end of the month. I think I keep muting you and you keep unmuting yourself. I'm like, it's like the playing of like
I'm trying to mute myself, but
I keep muting you at the same time. It's like when you're trying to open a
okay, I'm muting now.
So it's good to have 1 going towards the beginning of the month, 1 going towards the end of the month, and maybe a free group in the middle, something like that. So this way you're not always inviting to, because like you said, you don't want to be inviting to 2 or 3 groups at the same time. Like you just don't. But you want to open up, you do want to be able to open up a free group sometimes to make friends and whatnot. But so you do want to make sure that you're inviting to things separately, and you don't want too many running concurrently, because then it gets hard and it gets confusing for you. So I, like Christine said, pull out a calendar and kind of schedule the groups out. Schedule out when you're going to start them and when you're going to run them and when you're going to have a week-long group somewhere in the middle.
Keep it. I think your challengers, your potential challengers, I should say, your coaches should know when you're. I would be scheduled. Your people should know that you're going to advertise on certain dates, what they're looking forward to seeing. Your challenge groups should run on the same days of the month every single month. You can't just wing it. On that one, you really can't. I did it. I winged it for a long time. Oh, I have customers. Let me open up a group. That works at the beginning, but really you should know, like, May 5th or 2nd, I'm going to start a group, and May 30th, and then June 3rd and June. It should be very routine on that.
Right.
For
Either
your coaches, for your team, for your followers, so that they know, yeah, this girl Vicky runs a group every month. I know one's coming up. Let me see what's going on.
like maybe you start one the 1st and the 3rd Monday of the month every month.
Yeah, that's it. That's generally what we do. And then have your free one in between. And don't forget your challenges. You all should have in that, and we won't go into that, but like your coach opportunity in there too. So keep routine with everything. And I'm not a scheduled routine person, but it's really important.
I know. Well, I do.
I should do it, but I wing it. I gotta be honest.
Changing that because it's
really
biting me in the butt.
Christine, you really, it's the,
I do it for us. I do it around my personal schedule. So when I personally feel like I can be all, like if I had something going on that weekend that was a communion or I'm not going to plan it for that.
But
so
you know what? If you're doing your groups just for you and your people, then it's fine.
Yeah. But here, can I say also the other advantage too that I found to having 2 different ones that's been awesome is here's been my issue with getting people to graduate from challenge group to coaches is that they're so comfortable in these groups and they don't need to, they don't need anything, right? So if they have to wait, so now I have like this next group of people in the May 2nd have had to wait. Like they're like, when's your next challenge? I'm like, sorry, you got to wait until the next one starts in May 2nd. I'm in the middle of one right now. So that I want them to miss it. I want them to need it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they do. And so it's easier for me. I've had a couple of coaches sign on because of that, because they're like, I can't do it without the challenge group. And I've been able to open up the conversation of, you know what, you should start thinking about coaching because it's going to help you hold yourself accountable if you're having a hard time doing it by yourself. So that's just the other advantage too of having kind of a little crossover of when the next group has to wait for your next group to start kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So real quick before we get off, I know, Vicky, your question was, how do you know what to post daily and whatnot? And hopefully you got some ideas, like if you go with a theme and you can run it and you really just want to kind of go about what's going on in your life. But for when you're first starting, and when you need ideas, there are in our office, there are templates. There's a 60-day and a 90-day challenge group, and you can go through there. They have posts. They have 60 days worth of posts and 90 days worth of posts because challenge groups used to be 60 and 90 days. Can you believe it? Now we do 30 days. But so there's a tons of posts in there, and you literally could go in and copy and paste all these posts. I don't necessarily recommend you doing that. I think they're great for ideas. You can take the idea of the post and reword it and make it you. So there's tons of ideas in our office in the file section. Like I said, there's a 60-day and a 90-day, and there might even be something shorter now. So when you're clueless, you're at a loss.
Yeah, I agree. Vicky, were you ever in a group?
It's been quite some time since I had throughout my pregnancy, I really wasn't in one. So I'm kind of
but sometimes you can use those posts that if you were in a group that really kind of spoke to you or that you connected with, go back to that group if it's still open or if you're in it and use that. Because if something connected with you, it'll connect with someone else too. If posts work, guys, keep them. If they don't, get rid of them. I think sometimes when I post they're all that and nobody responds, I'm like, I'm done. I won't post that again. But if one really works, use it. Good? And you know what? Coach Online Office has, for each workout program, has a guideline for challenge group. I don't love them, but there's been times where I use them.
Right. Well, that's good for ideas too.
They are. Dana, yes. Yes.
Or and the ones the ones that are in our file section, we've seen them a million times, Trisha. Yeah. But Vicky's
somebody hasn't. I agree.
Customers haven't seen them, so go in and use them. Just make them your work. Yep. Use the idea.
Yep.
I mean,
The only
they're great.
Yep.
They work. They're great.
they do.
They get
They
the
do.
customers thinking and the
Yep.
Chinese thinking. There's a reason why people copied and pasted them for
I agree.
groups after
I
group
do.
after group.
I do notice.
That-
Do not
Yeah.
talk at your challengers. Instead of telling them, interact with them. Ask them. I noticed that that's instead of telling everybody, this is what I do, you should do it too. Interact, ask them, just like, get their opinion. Ask them. So,
All
all
right.
right, we dwindled the number.
I
We're
know.
over
I
the
want to
time.
go check out Christine's live video, her and Bill. Did it go good? Did you get a lot of viewers?
I didn't even
No,
see.
but I got more than normal. I got 5.